BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. And I'm not even, you know how sometimes I'd be like, we have a lot to talk about, but we have like a decent amount to talk about. It don't really be a lot. But today, we have a whole lot to talk about. Also, before the show even started, I want to give a shout out to Dredd, shout out to GIllie. So, apparently, last night we was courtside Barclays watching the Nets game. But it was extra super special for me because my favorite player in the league right now is Kawhi, and they were playing against the Clippers. So that's a whole win. You feel me? It's like sometimes things is just supposed to happen. So shout out to GIllie, shout out to Dredd. We was at the Barclays last night. Should have went live, but I didn't. We was at the Barclays last night. Chilling, doing things. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Stop believing the haters. The devil's a liar. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man. Real talk. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to be talking about J Prince today. I'm going to mention the Offset, Quavo, whatever the hell, but that's not necessarily going to be the crux of the conversation that we're going to be having today. I am going to be talking about, just so we can be clear, the paperwork that J Prince brought on GIllie and Wallo and Gillo. And I want to be clear about something. I do not want there to be any misunderstanding at all. At what point are we gonna say, and this is not because GIllie and Wallo, they're getting a lot of flack over this. Like, they're getting a lot of flack. Like, a lot of people are upset that they did the interview. Some people aren't upset that they did the interview. They said, you know what? I don't think that these guys, they had enough pushback. Everybody has their own opinion on the matter. And so it depends on what you want to see more than anything as for how I believe people are going to accept this, the interview, with any regard. I have a couple of videos we're going to be looking at, and then we're going to be discussing. But just so we can be clear, let me just go over this this Offset Quavo thing that allegedly happened. So I want to say something. Okay, so when you come from a black home and somebody says you were fighting, we tend to always think it's a physical thing. But often, especially in the media, because that's what we're speaking from, they'll say somebody was fighting and it was an argument. So allegedly what happened is Offset and Quavo were arguing over a thing. There wasn't any physical altercation. What people did hear was Cardi B yelling at them, just everybody's wrong because we in the wrong, this is the wrong place to be doing this. So what we do here is Cardi B yelling out, but basically, as far as I know, it was not a physical altercation. We was led to believe it was a physical altercation because the way in which it was reported. But once again, remember, the way in which some people speak over here might not be the way that some people speak over there. Argument, it is a fight, but whenever we're talking about two people fighting, we don't really say, we don't consider an argument to be a fight. An argument is there was almost a fight. You know what I'm saying? So when black people talking like, yo, there was almost a fight, yo. That let you know niggas was arguing. The next question is, who's arguing? That's the next question. You be like, yo, it was almost a fight, yo. Word, who's arguing? That's the next question. So, no, we don't consider arguments fights. Quavo, Offset was not fighting. They were arguing. What up, Des? Yeah, chilling. Salute. They were in. Wait, were you at the game? Were you at the game? Or did you just saw the Instagram? I was like, so Quavo and Offset, they weren't in a physical confrontation. Is a verbal altercation. And basically, I believe it was because maybe Offset wanted to be a part of what Quavo was doing on stage for the tribute. And if Quavo said no, that's wild. I would assume the reason had to have to do something with business and the fact that everybody is suing everybody right now. That's what I would assume. But even in that type of sentence, and in that type of instance, I would assume that that both have love for this individual, regardless of how everything was going when he passed. I would assume you would let him perform with you, but I don't know. It is what it is. What the hell do I know? But no, as far as I know, it was not a physical altercation. It was just a verbal. They were just arguing at each other, man. It was almost a fight. It wasn't an actual fight. It was almost a fight. It was not actually a fight. Almost a fight. With that being said, let's talk about Jay Prince. Now, I want to be clear about something, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. If there's any platform that you can bring paperwork onto that is operational right now, that is a podcast or whatever the case is, definitely GIllie and Wallo is one of those platforms that you can bring paperwork to. I want to be clear on this because my criticism is probably a little bit different than somebody else's criticism in this particular aspect. So I want you to understand that I don't think that there's anything wrong with somebody bringing paperwork on GIllie and Wallo. I think that that's what they report on. I think often they're trying to tell people or trying to help people do the right thing. Oh shit, you work down there, salute. Yeah, we was chilling and shit. You wait, did you have dreads? Or was you at the door? Was you at the door? Anyway, yeah, we was at the Barclays. That's a fact. Salute to that. Salute to the Barclays. First of all, salute to the Most High. Shout out to the Most High. Yeah, we was at the Barclays last night doing all of the things, man. I keep trying to tell you, stop believing the haters. They don't know what they talking about. I promise. With that being said, let's get to our first clip. Oh, if there's any platform that you should be able to bring paperwork on, it's definitely GIllie, right? That's just my opinion. You can definitely bring paperwork on there. First of all, they have a gentleman who did 20 years who should know how paperwork reads. You understand? See, a big issue and a big problem is people are reading this paperwork, but they don't know how it reads. They don't have the slightest idea. Remember, regular English and the law dictionary and regular dictionary is totally different. Understand this. And that's why a lot of people get caught up, especially when they go to court. Those words mean different things when you're saying it in court. The definition, the actual definition for many of these words change. You understand? Anyway, in any regard. Yeah, we went down court. That's a fact. Salute. Next time I'm down there, fucking, what the hell? You ain't taking no fucking, are you crazy? Why don't you take a selfie with me, nigga? I would have took some photos. What the fuck? Take some photos with me. I want to take photos with you. What the hell, my dude? You could have stopped me and been like, yo, Frost, I would have, what the hell are you talking about? I'm going to be back. What the fuck is you talking about? Part of my language. I'm going to be back. Yeah, man, what are you doing? Sorry about that. I thought I needed to take it. All right, let's get to the actual show. But next time you see me, man, I want to take a photo with you. Like, what the hell? What are you doing over here? All of the things. All right, so listen, pay attention. So I think that people could bring paperwork on the GIllie and Wallo. I do think that you have to have a certain responsibility when you bring paperwork on there. One of the points that people was trying to make is that they didn't believe that people was giving enough, GIllie and Wallo, Gillo was giving enough pushback. And I'm not going to disagree with that. But what I am going to say is, this. Sometimes, especially when you are the platform, you get information that other people don't have. So we don't know what GIllie and Wallo know, why this was something that their platform deemed was acceptable. You understand? Yo, hit me on Instagram. So it's acceptable. You understand what I'm saying? Also, you can keep commenting. So I say all that to say, I'm gonna let you hear what J Prince says. I want you to come to your own conclusion. You don't need to agree with me. Please don't do that just to be doing it. I want you to come to your own conclusion, because I think that my perspective on this might be different than a lot of people's.
His name may be, he giving all kinds of statements on this police report we have, so we can read his name and everything, because he put himself in a position where he's cooperating and telling a lot of different lies, so we may as well shine the light on the real root to the issue, which is this homie, you know what I mean?
Who admitted to firing a weapon at the scene. He stated that he seen the two males he had identified as Joshua and Watkins throughout the evening, that he had seen them with guns. He believed that Joshua said something and began pulling the gun, so he reached and punched him. He thought that males were about to try and rob Quavo.
Now, we can just stop right there. And let me just explain that little piece, how I feel about that bullshit. Now, clearly, this Bland dude and gave a police report that he seen these two guys with guns earlier. But these the same two guys that he decided he was gonna punch with his gun out and hit them with a gun. What do you think gonna happen? You know what I mean? You seen these niggas with guns and you gonna hit them?
All right, first thing I want to say is this. Do y'all remember we was having this conversation? We was talking about this previously. Did y'all remember what I told y'all? I'll remind you if you didn't remember. Mom, I told you, sometimes you can't go, and I'm not saying that he's telling the truth. I'm saying from what the paperwork is actually saying. That's what I'm talking about. What the paperwork is saying is that he knew that these dudes had weapons on them, which, not for nothing, is probably part of his job. Then, when the altercation happened, he's saying that he threw a punch, or he fired because he thought the other guy was throwing a punch, or he saw the other guy pull out a gun, so he pulled it. Anyway, in any regard. What they're trying to say is he acted early. What they're trying to say is it wasn't that serious and he did a thing, and because of the result of the thing that he did, it created everything. But this is the problem. Why I'm saying that this paperwork don't work for them. He's free. He's free. It's not in their best interest to show the paperwork if he's free. That means that the police has reason to believe his story outside of him just saying the story. Remember, this is the dude that's in Atlanta right now. This is the dude that they saying talked, and now he went back home to Atlanta. So that means that the police has a reason to believe his story. So what is J Prince really complaining about? He just went on GIllie and Wallo, and he didn't complain that his man didn't do it. He's literally complaining that the dude is just snitching on telling the truth about everything that happened. So what are you complaining about? You can't say that you with the family. You can't say that, first of all, he said he's with QC, right? Him and the dude from QCP is all cool. You can't complain about this. You get it? Like this, he cannot complain about this. Because you're literally saying the dude is telling the truth. And the act of him telling the truth is snitching. So now the streets got to hate on dude because he's telling the truth in court. Okay? So your guys had something to do with Takeoff being killed then. You see how that worked? I don't think that's and I'm not saying that they did. I'm not saying whose fault it was. I'm not saying whose fault it wasn't. But what I'm saying is, I don't think people be paying attention when they be trying to make their arguments. I think people be so busy thinking, oh man, I got this thing that I could say that could turn the tide, that they don't think whether it's even will turn, which way the tide is going to turn. Oh, that's your man's? Yes, Dre. Shout out to the homie, for real, for real. What are you talking about? All of the things. Shit, next time I'm up in there, pull up over where I'm at, man. I'm gonna try to come pull up over where you at. That's why I told you, hit me in the DM. Yeah, that's that nigga. What are you talking about? We got to do the show. We got definitely look. I keep trying to tell y'all that don't believe the haters. The haters don't do nothing but lie. I'm trying to tell you. Big dogs. I keep trying to tell you, the haters don't do nothing but lie. Stop believing the haters. It was a big dog. Stop believing the haters. Keep trying to tell you. I'm gonna let y'all listen to what he says again. I need for y'all to understand what the problem here is. I'm not taking nobody's side on anything. This is just non-biased commentary. And I want you to understand what the actual problem here is. The actual problem is this. Are they telling the truth or is he lying? If he's lying, he can't be snitching. Because it's a lie. You can't be snitching if it's a lie. So if he's lying, he can't be snitching. And if what he's saying is actually true, then that means that their people actually did create the situation that got people shot, that got him shot. And they might not want to admit to that. Now, I don't know if that's the truth or not, and I'm not saying that that's the truth. What up, L Boogie Banks? And I'm not saying that that's the truth, because I have no idea what the truth is. I wasn't there. But what I can tell you is this. He can't say that they're snitching, they're a liar. I know that people do that, but usually when people do that, I don't believe them. Copy? Like if somebody, yo, that person's snitching, man, they lying on me. As soon as somebody say that, I'd be like, oh, you're just trying to be, you're trying to manipulate the situation. It can't be a snitch and a liar. So just get that part correct. Is he snitching or is he lying? If he's lying, then boom, I'm here for that. If he's snitching, I don't know if I could be upset that he's telling the truth about what happened to Quavo. I don't see it. I'll keep looking though. Copy. There we go. Bam, we locked in. All right, let's get back to it. I'm gonna play this again. And I wanna hold on. I'm gonna play this part right here. I'm gonna play this part next, and then I'll play the other one again. Check this out.
Probably Cameron Joshua shooting at him. So he began shooting at Cameron Joshua. Video showed that Joshua ran back inside the bowling alley, but there is no video evidence showing firing the gun.
Now, just this little piece of of who he's saying.
Also, may I add, just so we can be clear. Oh, I'll speak on that in 1 second, El Boogie. But also, may I add, just so we can be clear, I don't think anybody has this paperwork. So for him to be able to get this paperwork, that means that he got it from somebody that's involved in the case right now, maybe? Or does he just have that much pull? He might just have that much pull.
Just when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here, a large black male with the victim's group later identified as Willie Bland is seen either striking or...
No. Let's go to Paul where he say who gave him a gun and all that kind of stuff.
Willie Bland further stated he initially obtained the gun that he discharged from Jazz Prince, who was hosting the group, including Willie Takeoff and Quavo, while they visited Houston. Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck.
Now listen at that.
Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck.
Now listen.
Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck.
Now,
why would they give him a gun if they was intending on firing on him? Shout out to Nick the Slick, salute. Why would they give him a gun if they was intending on firing on him? I'm just asking. What do y'all think about that? Why would they give him a gun if they intended on firing on him? Shout out to El Boogie. El Boogie says, I was confused why Jay Prince's son wasn't speaking because Jay Prince nor his brother was at the scene of the crime. Well, I'm going to say this. This might be a situation where a father is trying his best to save his son. So I'm in no way going to criticize how much Jay Prince speaks on this matter. I think that he has the right to want to protect or save his son. And just so we can be clear, if you even listen to what he says right here.
Willie Bland further stated he initially obtained the gun that he discharged from Jazz Prince, who was hosting the group, including Willie Takeoff and Quavo, either striking or...
No. Let's go to Paul where he say who gave him a gun and all that kind of stuff.
Willie Bland further stated he initially obtained the gun that he discharged from Jazz Prince, who was striking or...
No. Let's go to Paul where he say who gave. Just when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right.
Just when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From
He's
right
up
here.
His son.
Just when he put my son's name in his
I don't know if I could be
From
mad
right
at
here.
him.
Just when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right
How
here.
often do
A
people say
large black
men don't know
male.
how to take care of their
Just when
sons?
he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here. A large black male with...
Just when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here. A large black male
So
with
he's
the
up there
victim.
trying to defend his son. So I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm saying I understand. I'm not saying that that's a bad question that you're asking. Obviously, Jay Prince Jr. should be doing more talking than he's doing, but that's just perspective. Right now, Jay Prince, as we all know, people just have a certain respect for his words. Jay Prince Jr.'s words don't carry that same weight. So why wouldn't Jay Prince take the forefront of the conversation, especially when they're on such a national platform as GIllo show is? So his words carry more weight. So we would want, or anybody that would want good for Jay Prince Jr. would want for Jay Prince to lead the way in the conversation, because when he speaks, people move. Now, the second thing you said was Jay Prince Jr. should be the one speaking, since he was there and literally saw him walk across the body. Once again, the part that we saw when we did see him walk away, I thought that they brought up a good point. You didn't see the whole entirety of it. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't see the whole entirety of it. You didn't see the whole entirety of it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see that. All we saw was a couple of hundredths of a second, a couple of seconds. So we don't know what Jay Prince was doing, Jay Prince Jr. was doing before we saw him walk up. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not 100% sure where the body was when we saw Jay Prince Jr. walk past. Also, I don't know what we would have expected Jay Prince to do to the body. Like, what were we expecting him to do? Like, what would we be expecting Jay Prince to do? I'm not sure why you timed that person out. Do you know something I don't know? Nah, guess you know something I don't know. Anyway, in any regard, well, I'm just gonna one last comment. So somebody said his son is walking around. Y'all not gonna be able to see none of the comments of the person that I'm responding to because they just got timed out. So all of their comments disappeared. Y'all not gonna be able to see them. Right? Anybody that's watching this in replay, you're not gonna be able to see the comments. But I removed the message from a totally different person. You timed out somebody for no reason. I hid the person already. Yeah, I'm just gonna take that as an accident. I'm gonna get back to the show though. Sorry about that, L Boogie. But you're gonna come off your timeout in a minute. It was an accident. But I will respond back to your other point you just made. His son is the one walking around like he's a boss. Let him handle himself like a boss. First of all, just so we could be clear, that's not even the way we're supposed to do business. We're not supposed to see somebody in trouble that we care about and then tell them they got to do it by themselves. That's insanity. Like, when do you see somebody in trouble and then say, oh, you better do it by yourself? What part of that got to do with the Most High? That don't got shit to do with God. That got something to do with somebody else. I'm just saying. You see, because God doesn't tell you to leave people when they're in trouble that you love. Right? God doesn't tell you to turn your back. God actually says, you know, Cain and Abel, you your brother's keeper. You understand? So no, I don't believe that you're supposed to turn your back on people when they get in trouble. I'm okay with you thinking that that's the way that people are supposed to conduct themselves, because I can't tell you what to think. But me myself, I choose to not operate with that principle that when you see somebody in trouble, you don't help. You try to help people that you see in trouble. I just want to read the word right now. I'm gonna take it as an accident, but I'm gonna ask you not to time out anybody that isn't saying anything vile, because people don't comment on my page. So now this person might not comment no more because they might feel like we just timed them out. So now I'm probably gonna have to go the rest of the show with no comments. Right? Most likely that's what's gonna happen. That kind of then makes it look like you are with the ops. I'm not saying that you are, but that's what that then make it look like if you're just timing out anybody that's commenting, knowing that people don't comment on this page. No, I know you explained it to him, but also whenever anybody makes a mistake like that, and this is just rule, I have to remove them as a moderator for a little while. That's just the rule. A lot of people get upset over it, but it's just the rule. Anyway, Romans 5. 3 to 5. All right, it's not that long. I like Romans. These also get broken up too, right? So we just read the beginning. peace, and hope. Therefore, since we have been justified through faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have gained access by faith into this grace in which we now stand, and we boast in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, do we also glory in our suffering, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into his heart through our Holy Spirit, who has been given to us. You see, at just the right time, when you were powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely would anyone die for a righteous person, although for a good person, someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates in his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Since we have now been justified by his blood, how much more shall we be saved from God's wrath through him? For if, while we were God's enemies, we were reconciled to him through the death of his son, how much more, having been reconciled, shall we be saved through his life? Not only is this so, but we also boast in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received reconciliation. Incredible. No, it's not just because it was a mistake. It's just the policy. Amen. It's just the policy. And then it's just the policy. I mean, I don't think it's a bad policy. It's just the policy. Every admin has went through that at one point or another when they've accidentally blocked somebody that was doing good content on the page. It's been a policy since forever. Some admins decide they don't want to fuck with me no more. You can make a mistake, but I can't do anything about the mistake. I have to just accept the mistake. I can't just forgive you and then there still be consequences because it was a mistake. See, now look how the show is all sloped up. Now we're talking about this and the show is disjointed. So yes, when that happens, that's what happens. Because it always disrupts the show 100% of the time. With that being said, amen. That's like the second time we read that particular passage. It's not that serious. It's honestly not that serious. It's not that serious. So I'm assuming that Jimmy Belch is going from now. So it is what it is. He's gonna be the next guy that's gonna be doing all the hate towards me. With that being said, I'm gonna have to block him because he's not gonna stop trying to call me. So I can't do the show. No. I just felt like that was a good time to read the Bible. That's it. That what I was reading from the Bible, I didn't mean for it to have any kind of correlation to our actual content. It's just I thought that was a good time to read the Bible. Whenever I think that negative energy or anything like that is coming around me, I prefer to recite the Most High's words. With that being said, so I don't see any reason why he can't, like, you're supposed to defend. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, so when we see people in trouble, what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to just let them be in trouble? When we see somebody that can use some assistance, we're supposed to just stand to the side and let them need assistance. That's what we're supposed to do. When we see somebody in trouble, what are we supposed to do? Create more trouble for them? Because I just want to say something, but that's the culture that we live in now. We literally live in a culture that if you see somebody in trouble, people think it's funny to go create more problems for them. Like, people are always trying to drown other people. Like, that's just the way it is. So, like, perfect example. People wonder why I stay to myself so much. That's because I have good intentions. I don't know what anybody else's intentions are. I can't tell you what anybody else's intentions are. Usually when I actually come across somebody that I think that they have good intentions, that makes me feel really good, because I don't know many people that I believe that have good intentions. I think that they are overwhelmingly, I know that they're out there. Don't get this confused. I know a ton of people, but overwhelmingly it seems like, especially on social media, what people prefer to do is create problems. What people prefer to do is, that's what the preference is. You understand? You just said that Jay Prince was being a boss, and now you say he's doing a lot of non-boss things. Make up your mind. What up, Kimo Sabi? I hold on. One thing at a time. This person just said that Jay Prince is doing all of his boss things, and you were complaining that he was doing boss shit, and now you're saying that he's doing non-boss shit. You see, I'm going to say something real quick. When Jimmy Belcher came in here and gave you a timeout, I thought he gave you a timeout because he saw what I saw. That's why initially I wasn't gonna do nothing with the admin thing. I was gonna leave it alone initially because I thought it was a good timeout. Then when he said he timed you out by accident, then that means that his intentions were different. He timed you out because he was trying to time somebody else out that I had already kicked. That literally happens. So I just thought that it was a good timeout initially. If he would have just owned it or said nothing, he had to say something. But if he would have just owned it, I would have went like this. Because I already see what you're doing. You're trying to argue both sides of the argument. You're one of those type of people that just want to frustrate whoever you're talking to. No, I get it. You said, why is Jay Prince doing all the talking? Remember? I can't even show you because it's not there no more because he gave you a timeout. But you said, why is Jay Prince doing all the talking? You literally said that. You complained when he was being a boss, and now you're saying that he does non-boss things. So no, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. I'm going to see what Kimo Sabi has to say. And you should have just said that he timed you out. Because I thought you was doing weirdo shit too. You should have just owned it. Kimo Sabi says, salute Jack Frost, salute. He says, honestly, what do you think about the interview? I think for you, I need you to ask me specifics about the interview. I think that's too broad of a question. So what do I think about what aspect of it? I just think that that's too broad of a question. He says, it's not Prince Sr., it's the sons. They've been looking bad. Can't argue. No, stop. You're just trying to talk out. You're trying to say everything. You're trying to say everything so you can't be wrong about nothing. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to say everything so you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. No, I see you, L Boogie. I can tell. When are you going to start insulting me? See, that's why he should have owned up to the timeout. Kimo Sabi said it's not Prince Sr., it's the ones that's been looking bad, runs around and looking bad. Once again. All right, so how are you supposed to elevate when you got people around you? I've been realized that the person was doing that. It's probably the same person that comes in here every day and does this. You know what I'm saying? They try to be intelligent and all they do is talk out of both sides of their mouth. Asking questions don't actually show intelligence. That shows intelligence to like children. When you're a grown-ass adult, being able to solve the problem is a show of intelligence. When you take an IQ test, a big aspect of IQ test is just basically seeing how quickly you can solve problems. You understand? So asking a question has zero to do with how smart you are. But people who are low-hanging fruit people, they think if you ask a good question, that means that you're smart because they don't know the answers to nothing. Kimo Savi says, I got you. I think the whole interview sound awkward, the explanation, the whole outlook of the tragedy. Well, Prince Sr. did a lot of talking, and he wasn't there. Right? He did a lot of talking, and he wasn't there. Also, just so we could be clear, I think that's why he did most of the talking, because he wasn't there. You understand? This is an open case. He wasn't there. Prince Jr. was there. Him talking might be detrimental. Him talking might be a bad idea because he was there. Prince Sr. was not there. That's why Prince Sr. is talking about the paperwork. I was going to wait to say that, but I decided to say it right now so it could be as closely to what the other person was talking about when they was talking out of both sides of their mouth as possible. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just stating what I believe to be a fact. Asking questions don't make you intelligent. When you take an actual IQ test, what they measure is your ability to solve problems, not your ability to figure out questions to ask. I'm in a low triple figure, so I think most of us will be, right? I think average intelligence is like something like 90 or something like that. Like something like that. Like that's like the average person or whatever. It's like 90. I'm in the low triple figures. Yeah. Shout out to the Most High. I want to get to the Quavo. Not Quavo, the Offset Prince conversation, but I want to take another moment before we get there. Because, okay, so they bring the paperwork on. See, this is the problem, right? This is the problem. Listen and pay attention. What they're basically saying is, dude can't talk to the police after he asked J Prince Jr. for a gun and J Prince Jr. gave him a gun. And then after all this shit turned around, he go talk to the police and tell the police that he gave him a gun. So, like I said before, is he telling the truth or is he snitching? Because if he's telling the truth about some of the things, say he's telling the truth about, but you can't because it's an open case. So the people that's like, it's an open case, he shouldn't have brought the paperwork, I agree. This is in no way benefits them from a legal standpoint. They're literally just more concerned about what the public is thinking than the actual freaking court case. So I do agree, unless somebody has an argument, a good argument, I do agree that them bringing the paperwork was not a good idea. But once again, if you're going to bring the paperwork to anybody's page, as mainstream, these are the guys. But I do agree that putting the paperwork up was bad because look, you're going to have to agree that he was snitching. But what are you saying he's snitching on? And then there's other aspects of it that you're going to say he's a liar. So how are we supposed to know when he's lying and when he's snitching? So this was not a good idea. For all the people that was like, yo, I don't know why I agree. This was not a good idea. But if you're going to bring it on anyone's platform, you bring it on these guys' platform. Also, for the people that's saying that they're being timid or whatever the case is, Takeoff died. What kind of energy were they supposed to be up there with? They were supposed to be up in there with rah-rah energy? They were supposed to be up there threatening to fight Jay Prince and his sons? What energy was they supposed to have? I want to know. Explain that shit to me. Because as far as I can tell, they were up there doing their job. Sometimes doing your job is a little sad. Okay, so I'm going to stop my show for 2 seconds to say something. The reason why when an admin accidentally times somebody out, the reason why, just so we could be clear, why when an admin accidentally times somebody out, I take their adminship from them is extremely simple. I've had admin before say it was an accident, and then in the same live, they time out 6 or 7 different people. Now, I've had people doing that on purpose, and I've had people do it by accident because they were busy. So usually, when an admin times somebody out by accident, I remove the adminship from them for a little while because specifically at that day, maybe they got a little bit going on. The part that kills me is whenever this is done, there's only been 1 or 2 admin that just be like, okay, we get it. And there's always so many admin that has a big deal and now they become enemies. If a friend becomes your enemy, they was never your friend. That's a law. That's a law. If a friend ever becomes your enemy, they was never your friend. That's a law. That's a law. That's not a rule. That's a law. That's a law of life. Any regard, everything was going smooth. We've been having good shows and everything was going smooth. And then what happens this morning? With that being said, and then I get a text that is levels of unnecessary. With that being said, everybody, the little smallest thing I do, people just take it so serious. The little smallest thing, like I have no agency over my own life, over my own page, over nothing. Everybody really think that they own everything that I do, and I can't do nothing other than what they want me to do. So when I don't be wanting to talk to people and I don't be wanting to be friendly with people, it's not that I'm not a happy person. It's not that I'm not a friendly person. But if I make friends with you, there's a good chance that I'm going to do one little tiny thing that you don't like and you're going to want me dead. So I don't be wanting to make friends. Oh, man. Anyway. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm doing the thing, but I'm going to be talking in the interim. So, just so we can be clear, I think Jay Prince has the right to be able to take up for his son. I don't think it makes any sense for people to think that he can't take up for his son. That man got the right to take up for his son. That man has the right to speak about the case. I don't know how individuals might take a lot of the shit that he's saying. I don't know how people are gonna say, I'm just doing the thing, so I got my brain everywhere. So I don't know particularly how people are gonna accept it. Don't get it confused. But I do know this much. That he has a right to try to defend his son. Just like Offset has the right to be upset about what happened to Takeoff. And just so we can be clear, I think that what I find weird is this, just so we can be clear. He's allegedly has no problems, talking about Jay Prince has no problem with Quavo, who was there the night that it happened. But he has a problem with Offset, who wasn't even there? What in the hell is that about? Can somebody explain to me what that's about? I'll say it again. He has no problem, just so we can be clear, with Quavo, who was there the night that it happened, right? Who was a part of the whole situation because he was arguing with some dude about a thing. But he has a problem with Offset, who wasn't there. I don't think that's a good way for dude to go. I don't think anybody wins in the Offset, him going at Offset. And the reason why I don't think he wins going at Offset, just so we can be clear, is that I believe that Cardi B and Offset is just at a area of influence. Cardi B specifically is at an area of influence where I don't think that that's going to be a good look either which way. So I don't think it's gonna be I don't think Cardi B is the one that they want to go after. I don't think they want that to be a situation. That's just the way that I feel about it. Also, I didn't hear Offset talking about them. So I don't even know what he's talking about. Is he saying that Offset is talking to their family members and he's upset at the Prince family? Like, where could they be getting this information from? Offset doesn't talk to QC, right? So the only people that they could be getting this information from is Offset's family in Atlanta. Why would Offset's family be stirring up the fucking whatever the hell? Shout out to Brooklyn NASDAQ.
Brother, I don't know what y'all got, what the you got going on. Y'all speaking on my real brother. How dare one of y'all speak on me and Tate relationship? I don't know you from a can of paint. Y'all know how me and my brother rock. You trying to clear your face. This your 5th interview. You done did about my brother. You ain't think about his mama. You ain't think about the family. We ain't said nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing but you. You man, who y'all niggas got it. Ain't nobody going for none of that, bro. I ain't studying none of that y'all either. And if you heard something from me, I'ma tell you it's gonna come from me. Call my phone. Y'all niggas going off of he say, she say. Then y'all supposed to be this is who y'all supposed to be. And y'all on interviews and it out on the interview. Talking about I said that. Call my phone, homie. You call my phone, we'll have a conversation. They're gonna talk about all that plant internet games.
I don't know who Quack is. KC, who's Quack? Who's Quack? Quavo. Something's going on. I don't know what it could be, but something's going on. Once again, he's suing QC right now. He's suing them. So Jay Prince is talking about he's been talking with QC, right? He's been talking to Quality Control, been talking to Pete from Quality Control, right? They're currently suing each other, Offset and Quality Control. So he's not talking to Quality Control about these niggas. So where's Jay Prince getting this information from? Where's Jay Prince getting this information from? I'm just asking. Because he has to be, let's say Offset is saying something. He's not saying it to Q. He's not saying it to QC. He's not telling Quality Control. Remember, he bought himself out of his contract and they still trying to get money over his future endeavors. So he's taking them to court and suing them. And now they're suing him for breach of contract. Because he wasn't supposed to speak on their contract. It's like an NDA or some shit. So he wasn't supposed to speak on the contract. So he's suing them because they're breaching, because they're trying to still make money after he's bought his way out of the contract. Cardi B did. And they're suing him back because he wasn't supposed to speak on that stuff. So where's Jay Prince hearing this from that he's talking? So is somebody just lying to Jay Prince? Because if that's the case, it's not Jay Prince's fault. So is somebody lying to him, or is it somebody else talking to Jay Prince, or somebody? See, this is why it's difficult, right? Maybe he's talking to Quavo. You know that argument that was in the back? Maybe that argument that was in the back that was between Quavo and Offset was about something different. Maybe they're just saying that the argument was about whether he could go perform with him or not. We don't know what it was about. But I will tell you this much. They already practiced their performances before the actual showtime. So he wasn't asking him to come out right then and there, was he? Remember, you got to come do sound check and everything else. Don't forget that part. So there's a good chance they was arguing in the back about something different. Maybe they was arguing in the back about whatever that's going on between Jay Prince mentioning his name. Quavo, Offset don't live in Atlanta no more. Offset is in Jersey. As far as I know, him and Cardi moved. So Offset ain't even in Atlanta no more. There's no reason for him to bring Offset name up. Unless somebody told him a reason. That's one. Two, when somebody is grieving, you can't tell them how to grieve. So what is Offset doing? He's pissed off that he lost his brother and somebody is trying to tell him how to grieve? What up, Ganju? Jersey. That's a fact. Salute. Shout out to Ganju. We got Ganju in the house. You want to come up and speak on this matter? I promise I try not to cut you off. I cut people off a lot sometimes. I be excited in the conversation. That's why sometimes I cut you off. I don't be cutting people off really because like I be excited. I be like, oh man, this conversation, all of the things. Yeah, so that don't make sense. You understand? That's why I be cutting people off and be excited. So that don't even make sense. You understand? So how does he know what Offset is or isn't saying? Like that's why you gotta be careful. This is real talk. Stop being friends with people who friends with you, people that don't like you. Like, how you friends with people with friends? How is your friends hanging out with people that don't like you? That don't even make sense. We got Ganju up in the house. Salute.
Hey man, how you doing? You can see me?
Tell him my brother salute. You already know what it is.
Ross, what's good, man? Trying to work some stuff behind the scenes. I'm gonna keep you posted. I just talked to that guy a second ago, about 5 minutes ago on text. So I'll keep you posted. You know, he's just waiting for the opposition to say something else stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, because but between me and you, those guys is dead wrong where they're going with it. You know, they're unauthentic. You know, they got money now. You know, so it is what it is. But I feel bad for them, so I'm giving them a little bit of ammo. You know what I'm saying? That's factuals. You know that they can't. You know, hopefully make them go and hide or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get people go hide. That's a fact.
And the whole thing about it is that I know that you could translate. I know you're a translator on paper. So, I was telling him, he's like, oh, I might need a lawyer. I said, bro, I know a guy who could translate the paperwork the same way. You know what I'm saying? And can break it down play by play with you know what I'm saying? So I know you got that talent. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you. You the man, my brother. All grace, all glory to God.
Yeah, absolute, man. Try to do what I can. Shit, what I really wanted to do, man, honestly, I kind of wanted to see if you was available to maybe I could give you some money or something to go to Long Island and see what's up with the Fetty sentencing.
Absolutely. Let's make it happen. All of the things.
You know what I'm saying? Because hey man, I just need somebody there.
I'll pull up. Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in. You already know it. You're gonna give me. I'm gonna go get my tie. I'm gonna get my book, my pen.
It was supposed to be sometime January. They delayed it to March. It's sometime March. I'm gonna look it up on Pacer. You know what I'm saying? And see what's going on with that. Hopefully they don't delay it. He's looking at between 5 and 40 years. I mean, I'm in charge. I'm like the CEO of RGF Records, and I'm helping run the company that he signed to do 300. So they're gonna release a single on Fetty on Valentine's Day, and we plan on putting out an album probably about 2 months after that, month and a half after that. You know what I'm saying?
Boom.
So we're just seeing if he's gonna get out. Like you see these guys getting out all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So because we had a Zoom meeting with 300, we're saying. My lawyer's saying one thing, asking one question, and they're acting like he might be able to get out in March. I'm like, okay, well, really? Okay, let me, So, I just want to see what's going on with that, If he does get out around then at least he's around to promote the project.
Willing.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see what's going on, man. So, what's going on today over here, man?
Yo, we over here. We're talking about that whole interview that Jay Prince did when he brought some of the paperwork onto the GIllo show, GIllie and Wallo. What do you think about that? I
mean, honestly, when things are pending with a potential court case or something like that, and you're supposed to be gangster, I just wouldn't be on camera talking about it. I mean, he's supposed to be the ultimate behind the scenes type of guy. He's supposed to take it on the chin more than anybody. I mean, from what I'm perceived, you know what I'm saying? So it's, I'm just looking at it like, I mean, he could be doing two jobs. I mean, like he could be defending himself and his son or whatever and the legacy, and at the same time giving out messages to the feds. You know what I'm saying? It's subliminal talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like this guy over here, not us. Like, he's put, he could be, putting his narrative together at the same time. You know what I'm saying? To try to have the feds think. I don't know, but it's just.
He's saying it's irresponsible. Gangsters don't move like that.
A regular person, I could see do that type of stuff, but he's supposed to be so conscious of every type of gangster move against his rule and regulation in the handbook.
Boom.
This shouldn't be in the handbook to me.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys defend. I don't know what kind of pressure he got on behind the scenes. They might indict these guys tomorrow. He might be like, I gotta get in front of this. You know,
that's right. He might be up out of here. He might.
I don't want to be in his shoes. I don't want to be in his shoes right now. And with the it's kind of weird, man. Like, okay, what QC's going after Offset over contractuals.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
remember Cardi bought him out. Just I'm not 100%.
Okay. So there's no ceasefire for right now during war, I guess, huh? You know what I'm saying? You know, we can't say, you know, sometimes you throw bullets at each other and you have a break. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's all systems go. You know, even though I'm feeling some type of way, they just like, yo, fuck that. We trying to get this bag out of here. I don't care about what the fuck went on. It's kind of weird too. Like, I don't understand how Prince got like everything's okay because he spoke to P. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird, you know.
You didn't get that either, right? I didn't understand that. Like, that really didn't make sense.
Yeah, I spoke to P, not the family, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You know.
That's the point I'm trying to make. If he's trying to say that Offset is saying anything, how? Because Offset don't talk to P enough. Because they currently have litigation going, right? So he wouldn't be talking. Right?
So you're trying to say Quavo's giving tips on the side?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying that from a logical standpoint, it's not so much. I don't believe that Offset will be talking to P from QC, telling him the way he feel and or don't feel about Jay Prince due to their current relationship.
I wouldn't be fucking with P if he's talking to Jay Prince. I don't know what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I'd be that would make me kind of nervous. I don't know what they're saying. He might be like, yo, fuck this nigga, man. I'm suing him anyway. You know what I'm saying?
So
I don't care what you do to them. You know, I don't know what, you know.
So Quavo don't necessarily have to be telling Jay Prince. Quavo could just be telling, if he's saying anything, he could just be having a regular conversation and maybe P hears it. He's talking to somebody else.
Yeah, I just don't like the energy going that way.
Me neither.
Makes you think too much on the other side. You know?
I think that they should not have brought the paperwork. I think the paperwork that they showed actually hurt them because it shows that I know I know Texas is Texas. You can have guns and all that shit. But the paperwork that they showed basically is saying that dude came from a whole nother city, and then Jay Prince Jr. allegedly gave him a gun, and then now that gun was the gun that was in the mixing around in the actual situation that happened inside of the. So I don't know why you would bring that paperwork on. Are you saying
is Jay Prince Jr. convicted felon?
No, not to my knowledge. I think his paperwork, everything is clean.
Didn't one of them go to jail?
Jay Prince probably.
No, one of the kids went to jail.
One of them did get locked up. You are right.
Yeah, which one is that?
No idea.
Okay, I'm just saying if he was passing guns around, he's a convicted felon. That ain't good.
No, it's not good at all.
Yeah.
So,
and he didn't do much talking in the interview.
Whoa.
Right?
No, Jay Prince did most of the talking. But also, just so we can be clear, Jay Prince Jr. was at the place where it happened. So him not doing a lot of talking is helping to not incriminate himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
He do too much talking. He's 100% going to be incriminating himself.
Absolutely.
So I thought that was actually pretty smart that they have somebody else be the mouthpiece.
I mean, you just don't want to motivate the feds.
No, not at all.
Nah, bro. They got all the time and money. They'll run down on you 8 years later.
And that was the plan. That was the plan from the beginning. The first day, they was like, we're going to get them in 8 years. The whole time you think you living good. They're never going to touch us. They just documenting everything that you're doing. They don't even have no plans on arresting you no time soon.
That's like the YSL case. Didn't they go back to 2013 or something like that on
2012 when it began, 2015, pardon me.
Really? 2015?
Yeah, they said that.
So they brought out documents 7 years old.
Boom. Yeah.
There's no statute of limitations or something in between that? Or?
I don't murder. It was a murder. It was a murder. Right. I don't murder. You murder somebody, you're gonna be running forever. You better just. That's what it is now. You saw how they went and caught that dude in England, right? The mob dude. They went to Europe and caught the Italian mob dude.
No, the guy who was working as like a something.
Yeah, chef.
He was in France or something.
Yeah, wherever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
France, he was a chef or some shit.
He was like a cook in France or something. He was on the run 16 years, 17 years, something like that. Everything was smooth. Yeah, but he killed the guy in France and stayed in France. He just went to the other side of France or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't he leave France? You know, but you get comfortable after a decade. I guess he's like, I'm good. Like, I'm just trying.
The nigga just went downtown. He killed the nigga and just moved downtown. Yo, do they try to catch people?
16 years, mate.
Hell?
That'll make you confident.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man.
Delicious.
Yeah, but I do, man. This whole freaking Prince thing, man. It's all crazy, man. Like, and unnecessary dice games, and man, can we do something else, man? You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
It's unnecessary, man. I don't know how we get out of this, man. I don't know how we're gonna change anything, man. It's confusing, man. People love the lifestyle.
As always, I say we got to look for the next generation, because we already got a lot of people that's old. They set in their ways. There's not nothing you're gonna be able to do. But if we work on the next generation, we work on the kids. We try to motivate them to be, different from what we currently have. We try to give them a little bit of input. We got to get them families together. We got to start having nuclear families again. We started with two parents, a man, woman, and kids. We have to start having these nuclear families again. This is important. You understand? So when we do that, and then we can start transitioning to, it's not going to be 3-4 years. It's going to be generational, because that's how it works. It's this generation to that generation.
You think the internet made it worse?
Absolutely. What the internet does is that it allows for people a certain anonymity that people didn't have before. You have a lot of people, like, that's why I try to say there's people that.
You think that's why China or something would like restrict the internet in a way?
Yes, absolutely. But I'm against what China does, because China just promotes its own propaganda, because their whole thing is that the West is the devil, the West is
right.
Yeah, so they just use their media access to promote more propaganda. But I'm going to tell you the dope thing about China. If you go on TikTok in China, they don't have no negative nothing. They don't have all of the booty dancing. They don't have all of the in the West.
Yeah, I saw they banned something. Yeah,
they're promoting family. They're promoting kids sticking together, shit like that. So
right. So you think the internet should be restricted in the US?
I think that everybody should have a personal IP address directly for you. Period. It's your address, like a social security number. And I think that using that, you could then restrict access to people for certain behaviors. That'll make it easier to find people that's doing stuff on the internet that they're not supposed to be doing. And it'd be easier for a platform to say, well, you got removed from this platform. You cannot make another page. You understand? If I kick you from my YouTube, you can't contact me on nothing. You understand? Because everything will be connected. You can't contact me on Instagram. You can't contact me on nothing. If I kick you from one social media platform, you can't contact me at all in no way. Phone number, can't call me, no nothing. So I think that if we created something like that, people will be more responsible.
That should go into legislation.
I think people will be more responsible.
Seriously, like somebody should sign up, try to push that. That would change a lot of stuff.
That'll also make it so parents can make sure that their child isn't on. I'm going to tell you something that I think that's a big problem. These kids got these phones and they're on porn stuff all day, every day, and that's just messing up their brains.
Yeah,
like porn literally actually hurts your brain. It causes your brain to change it hurts you literally. So and we got children that they're spending hours a day or however long watching these images, and it's damaging their brain. And I think that's another reason in why we have a lot of this bullshit in the street.
Wow.
Yeah, but you'll be able to stop your kid. They won't be able to get access because you're not of a certain age, so you can't even access it. Right?
So no facts.
So I think they need to move for that. That'll also make it so that people be held responsible. You can't put something on the internet and then pretend it's not you. Like, what's going to happen is there's going to be people that's going to argue that's an invasion of privacy. And then there's going to be people that's going to argue that the government is going to use that to go around the First Amendment right. So there's arguments that could be made.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So But that's what I think is stuff that people. So there's arguments that could be made against it.
Got you. All right, I wasn't thinking like that. You definitely opened my eyes on that. Makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah. Whenever I'm talking about anything, I usually generally, I'm not just. I know it seems like I'm always, but I'm more single-minded. But I'm also looking at the alternatives at all times. Because that's the easiest way for me to be able to determine whether I want to do something. You know, I weigh my pros and cons.
I got you. Definitely got you. That's my lawyer. I gotta run, bro.
All right,
I just want to stop through. Salute to everybody here. Frost, I'm gonna stay in touch with you, man. Thanks building with you. I'm gonna try to catch up with you. Maybe I'll try to come in the room tomorrow or something. I'll come and say what's up.
Yeah, you already know. And thing you was telling me about, and I'll do that other thing you was just telling me about also.
Yeah. We can discuss that for sure. I'm gonna get you a date. I appreciate it.
You the man, my brother. Appreciate it.
Man, you too. You take care.
Salute, Godspeed. Shout out to Ganju Roach pulling up, doing all of the things. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I have an interview. I have an interview I was supposed to do like the last 2 days. I still got to get to. I'm gonna call him today at a different person, but that's a separate interview. He's supposed to be getting us that we're gonna do, and also as you hear, there might be some court work that we got coming up for us, and we're gonna go do that because it is what it is. We Jack Ross over here, BBN Network. Let's go. Salute. Keep trying to tell you, man. Stop blinking. Keep trying to tell you, man. Keep trying to tell you, man. Well, not just stuck in it. Well, right now, okay, so he brought up a good point of what could we do next generation or whatever we're talking about. So hold on. Right now in America specifically, we're fighting 1 billion different fights, and some of these fights don't even make any sense. It's just confusion. So a lot of the energy that we use to fight against racism is now being used to push bills that allow for children to change their sex and gender and stuff like that. So we're fighting a ton of fights in America. Some of them, to me, don't make any sense. I'm not here to tell God that he's wrong. For the people who think God is wrong, and for the people who, besides thinking God is wrong, you know, they think that it's okay if other people think God is wrong. I don't think it's okay if you think that God is wrong. I think that you're wrong for thinking that. Okay, so for the people that's like, they don't want to have, you have to take a position on this. I don't think the Most High made anybody a man and it was by accident or mistake. And I don't think the Most High made anybody a woman and it was by accident or mistake. I think that if you were born with the physical properties of a man, that you were born that way because God intended it. I think that if you was born with the physical properties of a woman, you was born that way because God intended it. I think this is just me. Now look, you can do what you want. I'm saying that you have the right to do what you want because you have the right to make your own decisions. God gave us all free will. I'm not here to try to take away anybody's free will. So if you would like to change who you are physically into someone else or into the opposite gender, because you believe that you shouldn't be the gender that you were born, what I'm going to say is this: you have the right to free choice. But I'm not going to say I'm going to fight for your right to do that, because I'm not. I'm not going to fight for your right to tell God he was wrong. But I do believe that you have free choice. And it's not my place to tell you that you can't make your decision for your life. Just so we can be clear. I do believe you have a right to free choice. But no, I'm not here for that. Mikey F said out. Later, Mikey F. Yeah, so I believe you have the right to free choice, but no, I don't believe with that decision. I don't agree with that decision. But I'm not gonna try to stop you from doing the thing. You know? I think that I would be doing something wrong. I don't. It's your decision. Whether your decision is right or whether your decision is wrong, it's your decision. If the government gives you if the doctors have a way for you to do a thing, you can afford that thing, you decide that you want to do that thing, and you are a grown-ass adult, and you have the right to go do that thing, as far as what the Constitution says. The Bible says that we're supposed to respect the laws of whatever land that we live in. So I'm to respect the laws of the land that we live in, whether I like them or not. One of the laws is that this is a thing that people have a right to do. So whether I agree with it or not, I can't tell somebody not to do it. I mean, I could tell somebody not to do it, but you know, I don't agree with it. But you know, it is what it is. I'm also not gonna lose any sleep over you cutting off your Johnson. That's between you, your Johnson, and God. I mean, I don't understand it. It's not for me to understand, though. It's for you to understand. If you understand it, I don't need to understand it. It's for you. So it has everything to do with you and who you are. With that being said, what time we got? Time we got. Enjoyed the Barclays last night. Had a good time. Absolutely had a good time at the Barclays last night. That was dope. I had a good time. We're gonna be back at the Barclays again. Shout out to the homie that was in the Barclays and recognized me, worked security in me. Shout out to that. I think a couple of people recognized me. Like, no, I think people recognizing Jack. I be out, people like, hey, that's close. I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they do it, man. Don't let the haters lie to you, man. The haters is lying to you. I promise you. I promise you, they lying to you. I promise you. Promise you, they lying. What we doing? I think I'm about ready to go. Anything y'all want to talk about in relation to this matter? Anything y'all want to talk about? If we get a couple more people that just pop in here, I'll stay on here a little bit longer. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What up, Freddie Acevedo? All the D Glass. I don't know if I called you out when you got here. Cardi B and Offset secures a McDonald's deal. I promise you. Cardi B nor Offset is concerned with what Jay Prince is talking about. I promise you. I promise you. Oh, also, Cardi B was yelling at them when they was in the back arguing, so that's bananas. Also, I gotta find somewhere to watch the Super Bowl. I gotta find somewhere to watch the Super Bowl. I know where I might be watching the Super Bowl at. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But I gotta find somewhere to watch the Super Bowl at. I know where I might be watching the Super Bowl at. If I'm watching the Super Bowl there, it's gonna be lit. We might go live if I watch the Super Bowl there. That's a fact. But I know where I might be watching the Super Bowl at. I'm not gonna say where currently. But yeah, I gotta find somewhere to watch the Super Bowl. I might just go to a regular fucking bar. Not for nothing. I just go to a regular bar. I think all I gotta do is buy one drink, right? Might go to a regular bar and just buy a drink and sit with the drink all day. Like if like one to be like the ice, be like this much in there with some ice. I'd be like, yo, you gotta leave if you don't buy another one. Hold on, I'm not finished. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I am extremely elated. I love doing this with y'all. I love this show. I love our platform. I want to do a lot of different things, a lot of new things. We have a couple of things that's lined up. We have people that have been calling and want to work with us, obviously. As you just saw, more people than that. We got some things lined up. We got to make moves. That's one. Two, I supposed to have did an interview dating back a couple of days. We've been pushing the person off. They're going to be free, so we should be able to do the interview today. I don't want to tell you the name. I told you the name previously. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to make sure I contact the person a little bit later today. We got other interviews coming up that we're going to be doing. We just got to get back to doing BBN business. I'm just going to try my best, God willing, get back to doing as much BBN business as possible. With that being said, everybody, please enjoy your day. And remember, the devil is a liar. Just remember that. Whenever you're going through your daily day, whenever you're doing whatever you're doing, remember the devil's a liar. Remember the devil only shows up to try to cause problems. Just remember that part. The devil is the author of confusion. So whenever you see somebody doing something and some weirdo shit start happening, there's a good chance that's just the devil. He's trying to confuse you, trying to confuse him, trying to confuse her, trying to confuse the situation. Intent is everything. You see, when you have good intentions, and this is just a factual statement, when you have good intentions, sometimes it upsets you when somebody, doesn't like your intentions. But sometimes if people don't like the outcome and you got good intentions, you can still live with it because you meant right. Intentions is everything. Have good intentions. God measures us by our heart, not from our accomplishments. God doesn't measure us by how many times we failed. God measures us by our heart. What was our intent? You understand what I'm saying? So keep your intent pure. Keep your heart pure. You understand? And have boundaries. And if you have boundaries and people don't want to respect your boundaries, you are not the problem. Especially if you have a defined boundary that everybody knows what the boundary is. If people don't respect your boundaries, then that's on them. But it's okay to have boundaries. You're a human being. Imagine somebody telling you you can't have a boundary. Imagine there being a boundary, another person goes over it, And then now they're mad at you because they went past your boundaries. They upset your ecosystem. But to them, you should have just let it be okay. And they can't hold no accountability to the mistake that they made. So have boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with you having boundaries. All human beings should have boundaries. Copy? That's one of the number one things we have to teach children. Boundaries. To have boundaries themselves, and that other people outside of them have boundaries. We had a situation that happened on the channel a little earlier. We had an admin that timed somebody out. The admin is upset that I said I'm going to take the admin status for a little while. The same thing happened to Arthur D. Glass. The same things happen to numerous different admins that I've had. Because we have boundaries. We have things that are acceptable and things that aren't acceptable. Now, if that boundary has been here for how many years now? For anybody to still be upset when it's actively activated, how? So with all due respect, if your friend ever becomes your enemy, they was never your friend. Arthur D. Glass, you in here? What the fuck is Joe Budden doing? I don't even know. I'm not gonna look. I just want to ask him a question real quick. I believe this literally happened with Arthur D. Glass before. He accidentally timed somebody out. He lost admin for like 2 or 3 days. I gave it right back. Like, what the heck? People always want you to be accountable for something, but they don't want to be held accountable for their own things. Sometimes people make mistakes. Because you make a mistake or because something is an accident, that doesn't mean that you have no accountability. You should be held accountable. Especially if there's already a defined thing that happens after the fact. So the fact that, that's all I'm saying. I have a right to be able to have boundaries on my page. This is my business. I get it that some people, this is where they play at. I get it some people don't think I should take my business seriously. I get it. But this is my business, which I do take seriously. The fact that you don't take it as seriously as I take it is the actual issue. Because that shows that you don't value me. But it's okay. I actually forgive you for that. If that's something that needs to be forgiven. If it isn't, then it doesn't. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Everybody, please have a beautiful day. And when somebody steps over your boundaries, that's not your problem for having boundaries. If they try to treat you like it's your problem for having boundaries, that's gaslighting. You have a right to have boundaries. Shout out to Demetrius Louderman. Shout out Michi Shlu. You have a right to have boundaries. Now, I'm not saying none of this to go and be angry at nobody or to be disrespectful to nobody. I'm just saying, I have a right to have boundaries. I'm sorry that some people don't feel that way. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's between you and whoever. That don't got nothing to do with me. The only thing that has to do with me is me and my actual boundaries. With that being said, everybody enjoy your day. Go do something good out there. Go do something productive. I also want to add, after that was cleared up, people started commenting. You want to know why? Because this page is known as a page where my admins just time people out all the time for no reason. I'm tired of hearing people say that. So yeah, when my admin times somebody out for no reason, we have to do something about it. Whether it's an accident or not. With that being said, once again, everybody enjoy your day. I'm pretty sure it's going to be beautiful. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you, and that's all I got in this one. I'm out.